Hey there guys, and welcome back to the Two Players Podcast, episode 35. We're going to be getting into the news, which there is some interesting stuff here, and then we're going to talk about games we've been playing recently, and then we're just going to close the show out. So yeah, it's going to be a chill show. So the first piece of news is that Tom Holland, the current Spider-Man actor, will be playing as Nathan Drake in the upcoming Uncharted movie, and everyone has been using this news as like clickbait. Like some people think that he's actually going to play as like Nathan Drake, but no, he's going to play as the young Nathan Drake, which I'm assuming they're going to go back and see on how Nathan started and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely a interesting cast, I would say, because I don't think anyone would expect Tom Holland to play as Nathan Drake.
Yeah, and isn't Spider-Man his first major role? Like, has he done anything besides Spider-Man at this point?
He's done other things within acting and Broadway and all that other stuff, but yeah, Spider-Man is definitely his first major role, so this is going to be his second one. And, you know, there's a lot of hype behind him already because, you know, when he was in Civil War, he did a great job, and now that not even Homecoming's out yet, he's already getting another role to play as Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, so I'm excited, but you know,
I mean, we'll also have to see if the Uncharted movie is like good because it's still a video game movie.
That too.
So you know, but yeah, I mean, sure, why not? You know, like as long as he does a good job playing young Nathan Drake over here, I think it won't be that much of a problem. Anyway, he's probably not gonna have that much screen time if it's just
probably
like a flashback.
It's probably gonna be like maybe 1/4, not even.
Yeah, like so it's not. He's not gonna be in it for much. So if you don't like him, it's not that big of a deal because it's probably gonna be like flashbacks or whatever. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool to see him get more roles. Like he's becoming pretty popular now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. Red Dead Redemption 2 has been delayed to spring 2018, which is kind of like to be expected. Like if anyone thought this game was coming out this year, then you know, I don't know what you were thinking, since Rockstar likes to delay a lot of stuff. But I don't really think it's a bad thing. A lot of people expected this to be a 2018 title anyway. So yeah, and I just hope that they port Red Dead Redemption 1 to PC at least this year, so that would be nice. Maybe announce something in E3 so I could at least play it. I don't feel like getting my 360 and playing it. But yeah, again, you know, it's not that big of a surprise, you know. Yeah. Some people are disappointed, which is, you know, rightfully so, because, you know, a lot of people have been waiting for Red Dead 2, but you can't really be that surprised, let's be honest here.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I was like, well, you know, it was going to happen either right then when they announced it or at E3 or whatever. So spring 2018, I don't think it's that much longer. It was supposed to come out at like the end of this year, and now it's delayed to spring. I think that's more than enough time, depending on where they are within development, to, you know, finish the game and all this other stuff. But going back to the PC port of Red Dead 1, I honestly don't think that they're ever going to touch the Red Dead Redemption series and put it on PC. They could, honestly, but, you know, the fact that Red Dead 2 is not even going to have a PC version sort of like just speaks to me as like we're not going to even try to do that.
Yeah, I know Rockstar doesn't like PC that much, so like that's kind of annoying, but whatever.
But yeah, spring 2018, I cannot wait. And honestly, I kind of forgot that this game was going to come out this year, so when it was announced that it was delayed, I was like, oh yeah, that was supposed to happen this year, but now it's not, so it's delayed to spring of 2018. Alright, so Destiny 2, it actually cannot run at 60 FPS on console, but luckily this game is coming to PC, so I guess that this is just another reason for people who have a good enough PC to run this game to get it on PC if they want that 60 FPS experience, which I find this to be strange because even on the PS4 Pro, it can't even run at 60 FPS, so yeah, I just found that to be extremely weird.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, for FPS, I think 60 frames is very important. Like, I haven't really seen too much of Destiny gameplay, but apparently, like, Christian plays it a lot, my brother, and it doesn't seem to really bother him too much. So I guess 60 frames isn't that big of a deal for more console players, but, you know, for someone that plays a lot of games at 60 frames, you could tell. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal, since if I'm ever going to get this game, it's going to be on PC anyway. But it sucks that not even the PS4 Pro, which is like one of the selling points for that thing, to play stuff at 60 FPS can't even play this at 60 FPS. So that sort of sucks. But you know, I guess if you already played a lot of Destiny on consoles, you're kind of used to it at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think console gamers are just much more open to like, yeah, you know, 60, 30, they really don't care or like see the difference. Like I still don't like see the difference a lot. Unless it's like a game that can run at 60 and then I see it at 30, I'm like, oh, okay, now I can see the difference. But if the game's just like natively running at 30, I really don't mind, you know. So but yeah, you know, the fact that it can't run on a PS4 Pro is very interesting, because I think that's why a lot of people bought a PS4 Pro, so they could have their console games run at like, you know, a better setting. And the fact that Destiny 2 can't even do that right now, it's sort of disappointing.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but you know, what are you gonna do? It's mostly just consoles, like you just can't handle it. We still don't know about the Xbox Scorpio, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
but it probably can't run that either.
At E3. I mean, yeah, if it can't run on the PS4 Pro, it probably won't run on the Scorpio, but
yeah,
we'll just have to go and wait and see.
Yep. So the Mario's plus Rabbids crossover art leaked, and it's really weird. There's some other information too about this game that they show, like, I guess like someone leaked like this like PowerPoint slide that was supposed to be like for investors and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was
like open the idea to like gamers and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, or something like that. And they, you know, they want to announce this at E3 obviously, but it got leaked, and basically it's supposed to be an RPG. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an RPG.
Yeah, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom
but
Battle.
You know, you got like
RPG.
yeah, you got like Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, and then you got Rabbids dressed as them, and then you have like arm cannons. It's really weird. I don't really understand. I thought Rabbids died a while ago.
Yeah, same. I thought it died with the Wii era or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess they're still around and still trying to do this. But I mean, I don't know why they decided to choose the Rabbids property. I felt like that if they did this shit with like Rayman or something like that, you know, with like a different Ubisoft property, I think it would have been a lot better. But I guess they decided to go and do Rabbids. And my take on it is that I really don't mind it as long as it's a good game. Like, yeah, sure, it's a weird crossover or whatever, but as long as, you know, it's a good game and they sell it to us well, I'll be fine with it. And you know, as of right now, it does look a little bit jarring when those rumors did come out about, you know, Rabbids and Mario crossover. It did seem a bit, you know, out of this world, but it looks like that this is going to be a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fine with it as long as the game is good and I could, like, you know, not use the Rabbids on my party. I'll be happy, you know. But it's also like I kind of just want like a good Mario RPG.
Yeah,
because
it's
the
been
past
a while
few
since we've had a good Mario RPG.
Yeah, because Dream Team was just okay. I heard Paper Jam was also just okay. You know, Sticker Star was really bad. Color Splash I heard was a little better. But, you know, I kind of just want a really strong one again, so it kind of sucks that we haven't had any. But, yeah, we have this, so I guess that's coming out, and we have to just figure out what the gameplay is going to be when E3 rolls around.
Yeah, probably going to show more than they originally wanted to, probably, since this is now leaked, and if they just do, like, what their original plan was to just show this artwork, make the announcement, you know, I think that people would be a little bit disappointed, since it's already leaked, it's already online, and everyone knows what this is and what it's sort of about. So if we get some like more details and more gameplay about it, I think people would be a little bit more open to this, you know, weird crossover of an RPG that it is.
Yeah.
Alright, so Spider-Man Homecoming actually released a third trailer. Believe that this is going to be the final one. And I mean, the trailer didn't do much for me. I'm already excited for the movie. I'm not like as excited for it as I was for The Amazing Spider-Man, just because like I want to keep this movie as spoiler free as possible. Like when The Amazing Spider-Man was announced, I was like looking at all the clips that were online and all this other stuff, but for this movie I've been trying my best to stay out of that, sort of. And like this trailer was pretty much just more of like the first and second trailer of what they served their purpose was. Like, hey man, you know, it's Spider-Man, so I'm still excited to go and see this movie on July 6th. Actually, I'm going to see it because certain movie theaters will show it on the night of Thursday instead of the Friday that it's going to be released.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was sort of the same way. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm already like, I'm gonna see it anyway. I don't just trailers much more of the same thing we've already seen in the other trailers. So, it's fine. It's not blowing my mind right now, but I think it's gonna be good. I think some people are being really harsh on it for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Just because it's like not Tobey Maguire, I guess, or something. But it's like I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be better than Amazing Spider-Man. And I even thought Amazing Spider-Man 1 wasn't that bad. The second one was just like but I think it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be bad at all.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna definitely be a lot better than the Amazing Spider-Man in terms of just like I don't know, being a movie sort of.
Yeah.
Because like the Amazing Spider-Man 1, like I liked it because it was like a nice updated version of Spider-Man, but like the movie was sort of all over the place. We didn't get to see on who killed Uncle Ben and like the main villain, the Lizard, I forget his name, but,
yeah, it was Dr. Connor.
Yeah, like we didn't see much of him, and like there were clips within the movie that were cut out that would have given him more character. So I don't know, but we'll just have to go and wait and see until Homecoming comes out, and I definitely think that this is going to be the summer blockbuster superhero movie of this year. So
yeah. All right, so Sonic Mania comes out August 15th. Did you see the trailer for this, by the way?
Yeah, it
was real good. Yeah, it was good. They've been saying it's gonna come out in the summer, so this is pretty late in the summer. But I'm finally glad. Oh, it's also gonna be $20, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be $20.
The price of the game is actually $20, which is surprising because I paid like $70 for the special edition or whatever. So I was like,
yeah,
this is gonna be at least like $30 game or something like that. But it's gonna be $20. So if you just want the game, it's gonna be at a nice price point for everyone, I think.
Yeah, and obviously the game looks really good. It's just 2D Sonic action, and yeah, it's not much to say about it besides you can play as Knuckles. I think we already knew that though, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty excited for this game. It looks pretty good. But there's not really much else to say until the game comes out. The new zones look okay. Like I like how they look. I hope they don't reuse too many old zones though.
Yeah.
Because
hopefully,
I want to see new stuff.
There's a zone or two that we haven't seen at all yet.
Yeah, I think there might be. So I forget how many zones there usually were in the old ones. I think there was like 6 or something. It's not gonna be too long, obviously, because 2D Sonic games aren't that long.
And it's $20, so.
And it's $20, yeah. So, but I think a lot of people will be happy with this game. I don't think they could really mess up that hard with this game. And I think a lot of people are gonna like, hey, yo, Sonic is cool. And then Sonic Forces comes out, and everyone's gonna be like, I can make my own character, and it's kind of cringy, but whatever. So I think Sonic is gonna have a good year this year, so that's good.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Sonic
really
Mania
having a good time.
Definitely coming out, I think, at a good time, because I think at the end of this month is Crash, and then like.
Oh, that's this month?
Yeah, at the end, I think it's like June 30th or something like that, and then next month is Splatoon, and then August is Sonic Mania. So
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff coming out over the summer, so I'm glad that there's a game each month for a person like me that likes Sonic and Nintendo. So there's stuff to play throughout the summer. So
yeah, I think cool. The Switch is getting some good stuff each month.
Yeah,
so that's good.
And the last piece of news is that Nintendo Switch, the online service has been revealed, and there's a lot of stuff that they revealed yesterday actually. So. First up is that it's going to be called Nintendo Switch Online. Pretty basic, nothing spectacular, but it has been delayed to 2018. It's not going to have like a weird cutoff towards like the end of this year, so it's just going to be out in 2018. And the thing that I like the most is the pricing. The pricing of the service is great. It's $4 for 1 month, $8 for 3 months, or just $20 for a whole year, and that's fantastic because I hate paying $60 a year because I feel gypped every single time I pay it, whether it's PlayStation or Microsoft, especially Microsoft when I used to play Xbox a lot, but yeah, I'm glad that they decided to keep it at a nice cheap price point, especially since their online service isn't that fleshed out yet. There's going to be online lobbies and voice chat. There's going to be a classic game selection. So like certain classic titles will be added with online play, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And then eShop deals and stuff like that. So
I like that. The eShop deals really caught my eye there.
it's pretty much like, you know, PlayStation Plus or like,
Yeah.
you know, Xbox Live now. So, but at a much cheaper value. So I'm glad that Nintendo is doing this, and they are doing, you know, very similar things to their competitors, but at the same time keeping it at a much lower price point. So I hope that this doesn't like screw them over. You know, like them keeping it this low will just end up them losing money instead of, you know, them gaining money. I think that this is, you know, just the overall, you know, good price point, good service, and when it comes out in 2018, we'll just have to see exactly on how good it is from what we're reading so far.
Yeah, the only have two concerns I have with this is, you know, obviously the app. We still don't know what the app's gonna be like.
Oh yeah,
and
to like do voice chat, you have to use your phone or something like that. Like
that's
how you do
which
voice
is
chat.
it's still dumb. I still don't really like that much.
Yeah.
And the virtual console, you know, they still haven't really talked about that yet. Besides this classic game stuff, which is what you get with the subscription with the online, but we still don't really know anything about a virtual console, which is probably going to be announced in E3. And hopefully it's not delayed till 2018. Hopefully it comes out during the summer, the virtual console. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But besides that, you know, we don't really know too much. So I hope the app isn't too annoying to use. Like, I hope it's just like, I'm not really going to use voice chat anyway because, you know, I don't care. But, you know, it's still annoying. But as long as it's cheap, you know, it's fine. It's as long as it's better than like what we have now. Because when you play Mario Kart 8, it's still a little, getting to a lobby could still be a little janky. So hopefully they, like, when you pay for the online, it gets a little better. Hopefully, maybe that's why they delayed it. I don't know. Hopefully, I'm just hoping. You know, hoping just not.
They're probably like
bad.
still figuring stuff out, if I were to guess.
Yeah, because, you know, when, like, the Wii U's online was okay. You know, when I played Splatoon, I didn't really have too many problems. Smash 4 had a little more problems, but it wasn't that bad. So hopefully with the paid online, they could, you know, make it a little better, hopefully. Because, you know, Nintendo with online has never been that great. And I think that's about it with that. Until we learn more in E3.
Yeah, it's pretty much it with the online service for the Nintendo Switch. Now let's get into games we've been playing recently. I've been playing a lot, so I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, you could go first. I don't really have much.
Oh, real? All right.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want me to go first, because I really don't have much.
I guess you could go first because I have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. All right. So I wasn't here for like 5 days, so I play like Persona. Obviously, I'm like halfway through that. I'm not really gonna say much about it until I finish it. So, you know, there's that, and I played a little bit of Overwatch because there's like the 1-year anniversary event. And I'm just trying to get skins, and that's about it. Alright, so you can go.
Alright, well, I've been playing a lot. Our friend and my neighbor, Louis, bought me the Friday the 13th game, which I was not aware that came out. So,
yeah.
When I got it, I was like, God damn, I'm going to be spooked as hell. But really, like, after you play, like 2 to 3 games, Jason just gets annoying. Like, he's not scary anymore. You know?
Isn't he like really overpowered or something?
Yes, he kind of is overpowered, especially when people don't work together and people don't want to use the voice chat. Like, the way I do it is that, all right, so first up, I've never been Jason, and Louis been Jason once, but we actually managed to escape because, you know, people would like stun him and stuff, and that gets pretty annoying.
Yeah.
But when I was playing as, you know, just like the counselors or like the teenagers or whatever, if you see Jason and you have like the radio, that's how you communicate with everyone on the map, because when you talk, it's only to people that are around you when you don't have the radio. So it's very important that you go out there and look for stuff and not just hide and, you know, hope that Jason doesn't find you or something like that. So but the game has a lot of things that I can't really go into because, like, I would just be here for a while, just like talking about the mechanics of the counselors and like what items you can find and, like, you know, the Jason part of the game too. So it's a pretty good game. I think that as long as people just work together and people know what they're doing, you can win and you can escape and you can even kill Jason if you work that much together. So it's just a matter of the kind of people that you're playing with. And the game when it came out, it did have a lot of bugs on day one. Like, for example, me and Louis could not party up together and get into a lobby together. So what had to happen was he would join a game, and then if there was a spot, I would join off of him, and if there wasn't, he would leave, and then he would find another one. But now we can queue up together and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. I think that as long as they make sure that the game's in a healthy state where it's like, eventually when people do learn to, you know, work together and all this other stuff, that Jason isn't too weak at that point, or like, you know, if people still aren't working together, they do something about, you know, counselors or like encouraging people to talk more or something like that. Because like when you have like no teamwork or cohesion whatsoever, Jason's just gonna pick each and every single one of you one by one. So but yeah, there was definitely a funny moment when someone was just like on their own, just like in a house looking for stuff, and then you switch to like the next person when you're spectating, and like Jason's just on them, like trying to get them away from the car to escape and stuff like that. So it can be a little bit comedic when people aren't working together, but at the same time, you know, you kind of want to win and stuff like that. So the Friday the 13th game is, you know, pretty good. And then I finished The Walking Dead: A New Frontier because they released the final episode recently. And that game, a lot of people are mixed about it because you don't play as Clementine as much, and you know, some of the story quirks about it are a little bit weird, and you know, just stuff like that. But honestly, I found the season to be pretty good. It's about family, like a lot family, because not like Fast and Furious family, you know, but like actual like family and stuff like that. Because you play as a younger brother named Javi and his older brother, David. I forget their names a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because like when they laid out the episodes, they released the season with 2 episodes, and then there was a huge gap in between episode 2 and 3, which is understandable because, you know, they released it with 2 episodes. But at the same time, it's like when I come back to it, I'm like, who am I playing as? Who is this guy? Who is that guy? So maybe that's just me, but some of the characters' names I just forgot. And then certain, I guess, decisions that, you know, Clementine makes on her own as like the CPU. I wish that I could have made those, because like the next season they tease it as like Clementine's story will continue. So yeah. I don't know why, because like in the final episode, there's no point where you go back in time and play as Clementine to fill in that gap between A New Frontier and season 2, because all of that stuff's already filled in. So there's not one point within the episode where you play as Clementine. You're playing as Javi throughout the entire thing, which I guess some people could complain about, which I wish that I could have made some decisions as Clementine, but I couldn't. But I don't know. Some people just found this season to be, you know, lackluster, didn't really like it.
Did you feel like the game benefited from not playing as Clementine, or you felt like it was just like, why am I not playing as Clementine?
Nah, I never really felt like, why am I not playing as Clem, other than the final episode, because I felt like, you know, the prior episode you got to play as Clem at one point or another, but this final episode you don't for some reason, which I wish I could have made some decisions with her, you know, like as her and stuff like that, because she is still, you know, my character sort of in some ways. So but yeah, I was never, when I was playing as Javi, like, man, I want to be Clem right now, or like, man, this story's boring, because like honestly the season's pretty good, I found, but I know that they won't go back to Javi's story, because at the end of the season I think that his story's kind of finished, and they are going back to Clem as they tease at the end of the season. So this was definitely a very experimental thing with Telltale, you know, switching from Clementine to a whole new protagonist, and, you know, meeting all of these new characters and trying to have a bond with them and all this other stuff. So I think they did a pretty good job with what they had and what they did, but I know that they will not return to Javi's story within the next season, whatever it's going to be called. So and then I played Firewatch. It's pretty much a walking simulator almost. Yeah. But you know,
did you finish it?
Huh?
Did you finish it?
No, I did not finish it yet.
Oh, okay.
I finished the second day because I'm like taking it slow right now. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty good. You know, like certain things you can do. You know, you can respond to her. You can say something about this or not. You know, so there's definitely a lot of choice within the game, which I like. So, and the game just looks nice too. So that kind of helps. And I think that's it for. I mean, I've been playing League. Obviously, I dropped to D4. I have not been playing at my best lately, honestly, but I just need to pick it up and hopefully I'll play better. But I played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Finished that. That game is pretty good. I have a review of it out now if you're watching this. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. If you like the Captain Toad levels from Mario 3D World, you'll definitely like this game. And then I finished Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 because I finished it for some reason. Like, what I mean by that, I finished it unexpectedly. Like, the game was shorter than I thought it was. So, but yeah, it's still, just like another Naruto game or whatever. So, and I think that's it I've been playing. Just been playing like other multiplayer games like Ultimate Chicken Horse and Duck Game and all that other stuff, but haven't been playing much else as far as I know. So, but I've been watching a whole lot of Netflix. I finished How I Met Your Mother all 9 seasons. So.
What? What?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Man. Wait, is it 9 seasons? Whatever. I finished the whole series.
Wait, how many episodes are in the season?
They started out with like 22, and then they went to 24 per season. So.
Jesus Christ! Wait, when did you start that?
When did I start that? I think I started it like after like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Like at the last podcast, I think it was like 2 to 3 days afterwards, and then I started it. So.
Oh,
but yeah,
God,
there's definitely a lot of fandom with the ending, because the ending, I can't understand why people hate it, but I'm sort of like in between, kind of, because like I like the ending in one way, but at the same time I don't, so. But that's about it for us on the Two Players podcast. Is there anything else you want to say, Damian, before I close out the show?
Not really. It's just that this week was a little slow because next week is going to be E3.
Yeah, next week is E3, and then we're gonna have a huge discussion about it
the week
after E3 happens. So we'll see you all then with episode 36, and that's it from us. So hope to see you guys then.
Later.